You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, replacing missing teeth with dental implants. According to my first guest, he says nobody should be wearing a loose-fitting denture. We're talking about dental implants today, and we have Washington, Portland's go-to implant dentist, Dr. Kevin Lowe. Dr. Lowe, welcome to the program.
Hey, Randy, thanks.
Now, I know you brought some photos.
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll get to as many of those as possible.
Yeah.
Now, for people that don't know your practice, like who's the typical patient that comes in for dental implants?
You know, Randy, the typical patient falls into two categories. The patients that have unhealthy gums, teeth, they have bad breath, they just have dental or they have bacterial infections in their mouth. And they're also patients that are really fearful that they're just going to end up in a denture.
So they go to you because they don't want dentures?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And then the second category is actually patients that already do have dentures. So at that point, they're not sure of what's possible because they've resigned themselves to just be in a denture and like, this is just the way it is. And
they don't go to the dentist?
No, they don't go to the dentist. They already got a denture. What are they going to go to the dentist for? Because so therefore, then they end up in a position where like, they're just resigned to it and they don't know what the options are nowadays.
Now you told me that a denture wearer on the day of the procedure could come in with no upper and lower teeth and walk out with upper and lower teeth, a full set that don't come out.
It's crazy, but that's where we're at now with the advanced techniques and our materials and our technology. That is one of the coolest things ever.
Are there a lot of people, look, when I think of Washington and Oregon and the surrounding areas, you think of healthy people.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of people wearing a denture or headed to a denture?
There are an astonishing amount of patients that are already in dentures, tens of thousands. Like you could probably fill the Moda Center with as many patients that are already in dentures.
Why aren't they all doing it? I mean, if it's so good to get new teeth supported by implants, what's your take?
I think that there's just a lot of myths out there where patients think that they are too old, or, oh my God, that's really expensive, or I'm not healthy enough. And it's like, realistically, we have patients that, I've had a patient, Bobby, she was 90 years old, already in dentures, and just hated them because her mouth was just so sensitive. That having those dentures resting on her gums and just trying to function at all with those, she just found them very, very uncomfortable. And she was a firecracker of a 90-year-old. And it came to the point where it's like, hey, I really hate the lower denture. Can you guys give me implants on the lower? We went ahead and gave her 6 implants on the lower, put her in an implant bridge.
So with those 6 implants, it's a full set of teeth on top?
It's a full set of teeth on just 6 implants.
And they don't come out?
Yeah, you don't need 1 implant per tooth. You can do 4, 5, 6 implants, and you can build a full set of 14 teeth on those. So we did that for her. She loved it. Fast forward, she was still in her temporary teeth. And she's like, oh my God, this is so much better. Can you guys do my uppers too? Then we went back into it, did the procedure for her, and we were able to give her a full set of teeth again on, I can't remember off the top of my head, but 4 to 6 implants. And she was so happy.
So why would a 90-year-old want to do this? Because that seems up there in age.
It is up there in age, but at the same time, it's like when you're at that stage in life, what are you doing? I mean, like you're trying to be social with your family and your friends.
Good point.
And you're eating meals and you're getting invited out for lunch. I mean, it's not like she's going rock climbing and all these other, extreme physical activities. She's just trying to enjoy her years and enjoy her life. And at that point, she just wanted to be comfortable.
But at 90, aren't they more likely to fall out?
Absolutely
If you're
not.
90 years old, the implant?
No. We have all these advanced techniques and we have the best of the best implants. They don't fall out.
So when you hear like a 70-year-old that says, I'm too old for this.
It's crazy.
Do they ever say that?
Absolutely. People just say that when they're in their 50s. And then it's like, oh, well, if I was younger, I'd do this. It's like, that's the exact opposite. And Rennie, super cool guy. He's from Canada. He played so much hockey in his younger years. And he was just missing a bunch of teeth. He had a lot of patchwork dentistry that, at this stage in life where things were failing, things were falling apart, he wasn't happy, his smile was just kind of like all over the place. And he came to us and he was fearful. It's like, oh, I've had so much dental treatment in my past and I've had so much trauma to my face and my mouth that I don't know if you guys can do implants for me. And sure enough, we we took care of him, and we did 5 implants on the top, and we did a couple implants on the lower, because we were able to save a lot of his natural teeth on the lower. So now he basically doesn't have anything that has to come in and out of his mouth anymore. He can eat whatever he wants, and he's just able to live life and not have to worry about things coming loose on him when he's having a meal with his daughter. It's so cool.
What if you have bad gums, like gum disease?
Absolutely.
Can you still do this if your gums are bad?
I mean, that's one of the major reasons why we do this.
Okay.
It's like when patients have like teeth that are starting to move on them, and they have spaces now because things are flaring out because they just don't have the bone support that are holding those teeth in nice and firm anymore. That gets to the point where it's just like, well, you're going to be on your way to a denture, or we do the implants for them, and then they have a super rigid set of teeth that they don't have to worry about something's going to come loose on them.
How soon can you eat after it's all done?
You know, for a short while there during the healing phase, it's a soft diet, but before you know it, like, you're back to eating ribs. You want to eat a steak. You want to eat a toasted panini sandwich with a hard crust on it.
Okay.
That's what patients are just super excited about.
What do they want? The way it looks, or do they want to be able to eat and chew? Like what drives them? I
would say it's almost a split, you know, realistically, because patients, they want to be able to eat the foods that they want to eat. I mean, that's what you commented about the Northwest. Like, people are healthy. People are trying to eat more raw veggies and more raw fruits. That's what we have in the Northwest. And at the same time, we all like a nice smile. Like, it gives you that air of more sophistication and positivity. You're just emanating more positivity if you're comfortable to just smile naturally and not having to hide your smile, because that's what patients tell us after we give them their teeth, their new teeth. It unlocks improved, fresh version of themselves, because they're no longer being timid and being shy or covering up, because they're actually happy.
They start taking selfies?
They absolutely start taking selfies. Absolutely.
Well, what's it like? Like, when they see their new smile, like, let's say they had a really, really bad teeth or even a denture. When they see their new smile, what's that like? Like, when they look in the mirror?
That is such a heartwarming thing for myself and my team. I mean, we're dedicated to providing the highest level of care and treating every patient as a human being.
Okay.
It's not just another case that walks in the door and we're going to, do their dentistry for them. It's like, I'm thinking of Donna.
Okay, let's take a look.
Donna, she just told me that she hated the way that she looked.
That's her after.
That's her after.
That looks good.
She hated the way she looked. I was like, come on, Donna, smile for me. And she wrote me a letter telling me before we did her procedure, she was like, it's not that I'm a negative person or a shy person. I've just become to hate my smile, and I hate my teeth. So after we're able to unveil her new smile for her, she's ecstatic. She's so happy. And we're still working on convincing her, Donna, it's okay
to smile
and take a selfie and be proud of this, because you look phenomenal.
You said most of the people that do this, they have hated their teeth for years and years, put it off.
Decades. I'm thinking of...
Is it because they don't like the dentist?
That too.
Just the fear of pain, or what is it? What's your take?
I think so many patients have had a negative experience when they were a child. Dentistry is different, way different, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, going back. So those negative experiences, they go deep.
Okay.
And no matter what, like, that's just the human condition. Like, if it's negative reinforcement, and they really kind of didn't give dentistry a chance again, which is understandable, or they were just seeing a provider that
doesn't do it.
That just doesn't do it. So realistically, helping patients get out of this fearfulness and then getting them the highest level of care possible, that's what we do really well.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong,
yes,
if this isn't accurate, but how dental implants are typically done here in the United States is you go to one doctor that does the surgery, another doctor that puts the teeth on top, And then you get them cleaned elsewhere.
Yeah.
You do all three parts.
All three.
Is that why you do it so quickly?
That's why we do it so quickly. That's why we do it so efficiently. And we're able to know lock and step throughout the whole process what's going on. We're not having to wait for communications from this provider and then wait for communications and then from a different provider. It's like we're in it. We're the ones doing it.
Okay.
And we know all the details of everyone's case and all the steps within their case.
So after dental school, I mean, you've spent a lot of time learning this
Yes.
implant dentistry. It's like a discipline of dentistry.
Absolutely.
Because it's not necessarily a specialty.
Correct.
But you chose to focus
Yes.
on implant dentistry.
Absolutely. And realistically, it's because of how life-changing it can be. People don't go...
Sounds like an exaggeration.
Not at all. People don't get excited about going to the dentist. Oh, I'm going to go get my filling today. No. But patients that have caught an elbow while they're playing basketball. I'm thinking of a particular patient named Guy.
Okay.
Young guy, young gentleman, playing basketball, took an elbow to the face, busted his front tooth, unfortunately couldn't save it. And after that, like, he was just so retracted and didn't want to, I mean, he's a young guy that, you know, handsome, good, young guy, and he's not being himself. And that's horrible. You know, so being able to do implant dentistry.
So you gave him a tooth and then what?
And now he's back. He's back.
Okay.
He went and got engaged. He relocated since then, but he's a good human, and that makes us feel really well that he's living his best life.
You know, at the top of the show, I said that you said nobody should be wearing a loose fitting denture. Is that the future of dentistry? Like, whether it's 20 years or 30 years, traditional dentures as we know them today won't exist. They'll all be latched on to dental implants. What's your take?
I say they should be. I would say they should be. Absolutely. In the sense of like the improvement in quality of life and being able to taste your foods because you don't have all this plastic covering the roof of your mouth. That's the gold standard. It's the next closest thing to just natural teeth.
Okay, now, digital printing.
Yes.
You actually print teeth
Yes,
in the next room.
absolutely.
You make their teeth right there.
On site, like we have a designer. I mean, we take detailed records before we start someone's case, and we are designing their smile even before we start that procedure. And then we take care of things. We get implants in, get them nice and solid, and then we're starting the design process, and we have multiple 3D printers in the office, and we're printing things out, and before you know it, like, they're walking out with a new set of teeth secured onto their implants, and those things are not coming out. They're not wiggling, they're not moving, they're in.
Now, when you're on a consult and they're telling you their hard luck story about how bad their teeth are, et cetera, and you know they're going to do it, move forward with this, do you ever get excited? Like, we're going, they have no idea how good this is going to be, because you seem like that kind of a guy.
Absolutely. You know, I work in the world of possibilities.
Okay.
I don't like to work in the world of like, oh, well, this and then that. It's like, that was my drive about learning and becoming proficient and good at all the techniques so that you have a lot of tools in your tool belt to just take care of people, because it's not a one size fits all solution. I have this one patient I can think of, Jerry. He was a retired, he used to work in lumber, so he's a very quiet guy. Couldn't really get him to say many words, but realistically, Jerry, he walked in with, I think the guy only had like 5 teeth between the top and the bottom.
Okay.
And just tons of infection in his gums, ton of cavities even just on those 5 teeth. And then they finally, him and his wife, Linda, they knew it was like, it's just time. Jerry can't eat correctly or proficiently anymore. So we ended up giving him a new set of teeth, top and bottom, using implants. And now it's like the guy's eating whatever he wants. I think it's like the first time in probably 15 years that he can actually just pick up whatever he wants or order whatever he wants on the menu and just go to town. And it's really cool to just see this guy now speaking and just smiling just more casually.
So he probably was always that way.
Oh, of course.
But because of his bad teeth, he became more insecure. Is that your take on it a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, like...
So they become who they used to be.
Oh, or the best version of themselves.
Okay.
One or the other. But to be able to see it when we see patients on their initial consult and they're just not sure what's possible, I can spot it, my team can spot it, where they're just very calm, reserved demeanor, and they really don't speak in a very animated way because they just don't want anyone to see what's left of their teeth.
But it seems so painful.
You know, I would say what my patients have shared with me is like, yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable, it's a bit tender for a few days, but after that, it's not something that really becomes an issue. It's not an issue after that initial 48 hours.
So they're numb, they're
numb.
sedated.
There's all the above, all the above.
Is it true they don't even remember the procedure sometimes because of the sedation?
They remember such obscure things. They're like, hey, doc, I remember you're wearing purple socks that day or something weird. And it's like, really, you don't remember all the procedure at all? Like, no, I just remember your purple socks. Okay.
Do you ever have like couples that come in, like one goes first and the other one goes second? Has that happened to you yet?
I've had a mother-daughter.
Okay.
So Marion.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So Marion, here's her before. The before is like, Marion, she just had a lot of hodgepodge, one tooth at a time dentistry, and she had some challenges in her life at certain points, and instead of having a tooth fixed, she ended up having it removed. So realistically, she only probably had half of her teeth.
So she didn't like her teeth in this
No.
photo. Like she didn't. Did you have to? I think you said you make some of the patients. They don't want to smile for the photo.
Absolutely, you have to force them to smile because they're so hard trained and ingrained to not smile. So with Marion, like, she had cavities everywhere, she had spaces everywhere, her teeth were discolored. She was just literally embarrassed to smile, and she really couldn't really eat anything of substance.
So what were her options?
So her options were a denture or using implants and giving her a new set of teeth.
Okay, let's take a look at the after.
Yeah, take a look at her after.
It looks good.
She
looks happy.
She looks more youthful. She's happier. She's just wanting to talk.
She looks younger.
Absolutely. Absolutely she does. You know, the majority of our patients do. They look younger after we take care of their teeth for them. When we did Marion's case, like her daughter, I've known her daughter. I've taken care of her daughter for close to 8-9 years, and super anxious, super nervous about being in the dental office. She would tell me all the time, Dr. Lowe, I love you. I really do. Me being nervous is not your fault. It's just all the past, and my mouth is so sensitive. And you know, Monty, she's a tough girl, really tough girl. But like a lot of people, her mouth is just like her kryptonite. Like everything is super accentuated and everything's so sensitive in her mouth compared to a big sleeve of tattoos. But yet, that's not that big of a deal. But any dental treatment was just off the charts for her.
So her mother kind of talked her into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, her mother kind of talked me into it, to be honest. Because I wanted to help Monty, her daughter, actually save her teeth. And it just got to the point where she didn't want her teeth anymore. And I could understand after some point in time, like I could understand why.
Plus it's expensive to keep trying to save your teeth, right?
It's
Or no?
For her, it's traumatic.
Okay.
And it could be very expensive if you're just doing one tooth at a time.
Okay.
So in her particular case,
what'd you do?
We transitioned her out of her natural teeth and we gave her a new set of teeth, top and bottom, on implants. And she's doing it now. She's like back to coming in for casual run-of-the-mill cleanings, and she's being able to live her life, and she's not ashamed of the fact that her teeth are discolored, and she's not suffering from extremely sensitive teeth from all the cavities.
Now her mother talked you into it, talked her into it.
Yeah.
What does her mother say to you when it's all done?
She's so happy that she did it, and she wishes that she would have done it for herself sooner.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
So mother and daughter walking around with great teeth.
Indeed. Indeed.
Smiling all over the place.
Yes.
Okay, you have another photo. What are we looking at?
This is Miss Tony.
Okay.
This is Miss Tony. Miss Tony.
Now, we don't have the before photo, but this is the after.
Yes, it is.
Looking good.
Yes.
Can't imagine she ever had bad teeth.
She did. She struggled with gum disease.
So even if they brush and floss, you can't get rid of this
no matter
infection?
what you do, this is just a bacterial issue.
Okay.
And Miss Tony, she did everything humanly possible to take care of her teeth. And in the end, the bacterial infection associated with the periodontal or gum disease is what won over. And we were able to transition her into implants. And the biggest thing for her was that she not go into a denture. And here's why. She's huge into her church choir.
Okay.
Huge. Summer events, big Christmas production. She would refuse to have the roof of her mouth covered with a denture. So the implants were her only option. And she says that she's so happy. She shares with us that, some of her friends were like, oh my God, why'd you go and do all that dental treatment? And verbatim, it's like, Dr. Lowe's the master. He's an artist.
The master. Okay.
And I love that woman. She is spectacular. And to be able to see her eating what she wants, being able to sing with all the confidence that she sounds the same and that her teeth aren't going to move or come loose on her, that's the glory on her.
How long, typically, like somebody like this, did they not like their teeth? Like how many good years did she miss out on as far as smiling and?
At least 14, because that's how long I've known her.
Okay.
At least 14.
And then in one day it's done.
Yeah. We got her a new set of teeth. They looked good. And then when we got her into her final zirconia, she just looks marvelous.
Now you brought this up, the final, and so I guess you give them a temporary set of teeth that still don't come in and out of their mouth.
Correct.
Then they heal up, and then they get their final set of.
So when we do the procedure for them, and then we have our 3D printer, that's the temporary set that they walk in with not a good condition. We put the implants in, we 3D print the temporary set of teeth, all plastic, and they use those to heal.
So if somebody's watching this and they got really bad teeth and gums or wearing a denture, if you had room on your schedule, next week they could have their new upper and lower teeth.
You got it.
Not an exaggeration.
Not an exaggeration.
Has that ever happened?
It's gotten.
Where you can do it that quickly?
I think the quickest we've ever done it is like, hey, we'll come in on our day off on a Friday. So it's like, let's set you up for next Friday.
So like the appointment process. They meet you.
Yep.
Okay, you get an idea. They decide they want to do it, and then how many trips to your office again in a perfect world if it works out?
In a perfect world, if it works out, we're meeting people, we're talking about what the possibilities are. They say, yeah, doc, that's what I want. Let's do it. Right then at that same appointment, we're taking photos, we're taking digital impressions, there's no gooey impression material, and we're good to go. We're ready. I mean,
so they don't have that stuff you put in the mouth for impressions. How do you do it then?
We've invested heavily in technology, and we're using digital impressions,
It's like a camera that goes in their mouth?
Yeah, a small camera.
Okay.
It just takes thousands of pictures and stitches them together as a video. It's crazy. It's super cool.
So in 3 visits, they could get their new teeth.
They could have it in 2 visits.
Now, when it's all done, could they bite things like a raw carrot with their front teeth, or they have to still be careful? And could they have like almonds or raw things?
You want to eat raw carrots, knock yourself out. You want to have a caramel apple because it's Halloween time, you're good to go. Any of that.
Are they ever scared because they've gone so long without eating?
Absolutely.
They have to go, doctor, are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. And we give patients kind of a printed, like, hey, on week da-da-da-da, this is okay. And then once they get their final, like, we have to reassure them. It's like, hey, we're good to go.
And the bleeding gums and the bad breath go away?
It absolutely does.
How soon does that go away?
Within a week.
Is that right?
And within a week.
So the gums heal up, they get fresh again, nice.
You clear all that bacteria out of there. You're getting a fresh set of like healthy bone because we're taking away all the bad stuff. That's what we're doing during our procedure.
We're out of time, but if a patient goes to your office and they're of the 2 categories, they're wearing a denture or their teeth are so bad, it's been determined they have to be removed. Yeah. What are their options when it comes to dental implants? Because you offer several.
Yeah, so the basic option that helps patients function reasonably well is a snap-in, snap-out denture.
Okay.
And we're using 3 implants on the bottom. It's still a denture, Let's, you know.
But it snaps in, snaps
out. It
out.
snaps in, snaps out. So you're not worrying about it like popping out when you're talking or when you're laughing. But there's still going to be some wiggle to it, and it's still a denture. So it's going to feel bulky. It's going to cover up a lot of the gum tissue. And you know, there's a bit more ongoing maintenance.
It's
costs.
just less expensive.
It's more affordable.
Okay.
There's some trade-offs, and some of that is also just more ongoing maintenance costs.
Okay.
Yeah. On the upper, it's a traditional denture where they're using some adhesive and it glues into the roof
But
of the
the
mouth.
upper's pretty good, right? Because it's got suction.
You've never worn a denture, Randy.
Okay, that's true.
That's true. So, I mean, you're using adhesives and you're gluing it to the roof of the mouth. So, in that sense, you're covering up a lot of taste buds on the roof of the mouth, and it's going to affect your speech because you got this a layer of plastic that's covering up the roof of your mouth where your tongue normally goes. It's getting occupied with that denture.
So the next level up is just upper and lower teeth that don't come out.
Absolutely. It's the closest thing to your natural teeth.
So with as little as just 4 implants, they can give you a full arch of teeth.
Absolutely.
What about the upper?
Same.
Okay.
4, 5, and that's how I run our practice when we're taking care of patients. It's a flat fee. If you're getting 4, you could get 5. It's just whatever it takes to make sure that you're walking out with teeth.
Now, people travel distances to see you.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Like what areas do you serve?
I mean, we're serving up into Yakult and Amboy. We're serving into Gresham. There's patients that come from all over.
Now, for people that aren't in the know, less than 5% of dentists do it this way?
I would say less than 5, absolutely. Because the majority of it's more of the traditional route. We're using acrylic and plastic and picking it up after the surgery. Our workflow is just so much cleaner and more predictable, and there's less bulk to it, so their temporary teeth just feel more natural.
And if somebody wants to make an appointment, do they go to the website or they call you? And do they get to see you on all these appointments?
Absolutely. So the number one, give us a call. We're gonna set you up. You're gonna chat with one of our front office team members that'll just walk you through a lot of it, and we're gonna see you in the office. I'm gonna see you in the office. I'm the only doc in the office, so for better or for worse, I'm
Are
the
you
only
this
one.
enthusiastic with the patients?
Absolutely. I'm about positivity and I'm about possibility.
And you really believe no more dentures, no more traditional dentures, if you could have anything to do with it.
That's the goal in my office and for my patients.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming to the show. Great stuff. Good stuff. Good photos. And we'll have to have you back. So thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
You've been watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. For now, I wish you good health.